Welcome to the Happy Hippie Show. Today we have with us CEO and founder at TechEagle Innovations, Mr. Vikram Singh, and CEO and co-founder at MerlinWand, Mr. Sudarshan Vig. Welcome you both, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.
So before I start on with the conversation, let me give you a brief idea about what the show is all about. Now the show is about the moon concept. The moon concept is, so we are the happy hippies, which are represented by the Gen Zs. Now we have decided to, shift to the moon. Now, why we are doing that? We have a purpose. Because we are facing so many issues, troubling us in the earth itself. So that is the reason we are, shifting to the moon. But that does not stop here. We are trying to find the solutions by discussing the same with the leadership people we invite here. So now I would like to, start with Vikram sir. Could you please tell us about your journey as to how this idea of self-reliant drones came into your mind?
So, why we started, first of all, the drones, right? And the problem that we are solving, why? So basically, every single day, we are losing more than 500 lives. Every single hour, more than 30,000 parcels standalone in India are getting delayed. And why is because of the last mile and mid-mile supply chain gaps. And 14% of our GDP as a country is going in the cost of the logistics. And the global average is 7-8%, right? And when you need to solve these large problems, you need to basically think bottom up and from the roots of the problem. And then you need to basically build the solutions which are resilient, which are sustainable in the long term. And that's where basically to solve this problem of universal access, right? So to give the universal access to the world, to each and every corner of this world, there should be a equal accessibility to healthcare, e-commerce and logistics, whether you are living in a metro city or living in a remotest part of the world. And with that particular vision, what we are creating is an on-demand drone logistics airline. Now to create this entire drone logistics airline, you need to have an entire bouquet of the technology stack, including the autonomous drones, to the fleet management system, to the traffic management systems that integrates with the manned aviation and unmanned aviation. And then there are order managements in the AI-enabled analytics to basically centralize the entire logistics and reduce the overall supply chain cost and increase the efficiency. And that's where the drone comes into the picture. But when we are building the drones, should we be building just for right now or immediate next 5 years?
Want to know from you, how can we make children, since we are speaking about renewable energy adoption, how can we make children interested in renewable energy, and get more participation and more engagement from their end?
So one of the things that I've seen, so far, what really works is this education of how, nature as a whole is getting destroyed. That education, that sensitization, when it starts off from childhood, they are not yet in the mindset of, I won't say capitalism, but crony capitalism. They're not yet in the mindset of thinking everything monetarily, right? Which is where actually a lot of grown-ups fail. So from children, the moment we talk about, see the larger picture of how the earth is getting destroyed, we need to exist as a species for a really, really long time. Not only we, but we have to make sure that there's so many other species which are coexisting with us on the same little planet that we have, which is very, very fragile, right? A little change, a little post-industrial revolution, that little change has increased the global temperatures by 1.5 degrees within, say, 200 years, which would ideally have taken 10,000 years, right? The moment these little things are told to them that, and how much, issues it causes, the whole thing, why are we living? What is this concept of life, existence, is because there are some millions of conditions which have come together in our planet so that we exist.
Exactly. That's finding your purpose at a very early age as to what you are doing, as to why you are doing is something which is very much essential. Coming to Vikram sir, you have spoken
I would
about.
like to just add a point.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry to cut you in, but the purpose should be more of not that what they should do, but at least they should know that what they should not definitely do, right? In terms of
exactly.
Right. So I think
Perfect,
when Sudarshan is maybe planning all of these different programs and different modules and books, right? This is, I think, the approach, and I think very few people are working with the kind of the vision Sudarshan is working, and really we appreciate. And whenever we are doing a short-term calculations and short-term, we are developing with a short-term vision, right? For example, the recent crisis. Before that, also there were crises, not just in the energy, but in the financial markets also, right? And all of these things then results in the use of fossil fuel-based emissions and all, right? Because everybody wants to have a quick ROI. They don't want to invest in a heavy infra, heavy technology, which will result in a good outcomes for them also, for the overall ecosystem also down the line, maybe 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. People are now planning for 6 months, 1 year and 2 year only. Even people have stopped planning for next 5 years. So that is I think the mindset that needs to be developed at an early stage, and definitely at a Gen Z space, because next 1 decade at least will be run by and governed and driven by the Gen Zs, right? And that's where that change pass on also needs to be there. So yeah.
Sudarshan sir, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so basically, I think some of the takeaways, I'll try to just word it slightly differently from what Vikram said. But the very interesting takeaways, I think, from what he just said, is that there need not be a single solution. There needs to be 10 solutions or 15 solutions. So you're hedging your bets. You have to hedge your bets in any field, right? So you're hedging your bets for the future of your planet by having multiple possible solutions. And not only that, it takes time to build an efficient system. You can't say tomorrow I'll build that artificial tree to make it more efficient, to make it something which is self-sustaining. You have to do tons and tons of research, experiments, trials, analysis of side effects and quality and tons. And because of that, we have to work on 10 to 12 different solutions, because it will take at least a decade and a half to find at least 5 which work well, right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, we'll be like that, like during the COVID. It's like sudden influx of dude, make a vaccine. I need it in a month. We can't get there. If one thing COVID has taught us is we should always, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst.
So this is the, the platform, entertainment platform. We are building it up. And this is, we are actually building it up for the artists. So this is for the it's a platform of artists where we would, get any entertainment content created by them, and it would be, we're trying to put, make it more efficient. So we would be discussing about this later on. And other than that, it was, lovely to have your insights on this and joining us on this show. We would surely reflect on today's discussion and pledge to make Earth a much, much better place to live. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shahrukh.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, Vikram.